I begin my talk with a prayer and a song, then I'll continue with the talk. दक्षिणामूर्तिसारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् रमणाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये आङ्गिकं भुवनं यस्य वाचिकं सर्ववाङ्मयम् आहार्यं चन्द्रतारादि तं नमः सात्विकं शिवम् ॐ नमो भगवते श्रीरमणाय। मानसं तु किं मार्गणे कृते नैव मानसं मार्ग आर्जवात् मानसं तु किं मार्गणे कृते नैव मानसं मार्ग आर्जवात् वृत्तयस्त्व अहं वृत्तिमाश्रिताः वृत्तयो मनो विद्यहं मनः वृत्तयस्त्वहं वृत्तिमाश्रिताः वृत्तयो मनो विद्यहं मनः अहमयं कुतो भवति चिन्वत ऐपतत्यहं निजविचारणम् अहमयं कुतो भवति चिन्वत ऐपतत्यहं निजविचारणम्। परमात्मन् यारंदरिवे मानवा परमात्मन् यारेंदरिवे मानवा ನಿನ್ನ ನೀ ಅರಿತರೆ ನಿನ್ನ ನೀ ಅರಿತರೆ 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 ಹೃದಯದೊಳಗಿಂದ ನಾನ್ ಎಂದು ಆತ್ಮರೂಪವೇ ಹೊಳೆಯುತ್ತಿಹುದು ಹೃದಯದೊಳಗಿಂದ ನಾನ್ ಎಂದು ಆತ್ಮರೂಪವೇ ಹೊಳೆಯುತ್ತಿಹುದು ನಾನಾರೆಂಬ 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 ಧ್ಯಾನದಿ ಮುಳುಗೆ ಮೌನವು ಬೆಳಗೆ ಧ್ಯಾನದಿ ಮುಳುಗೆ ಮೌನವು ಬೆಳಗೆ ಆತ್ಮದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಆತ್ಮದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಆತ್ಮದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಆತ್ಮದ ಕಡೆಗೆ. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. This is a song written by C.N. Shastri. And this was one of the first Kannada song which was recorded by Ramananjali about 40 plus years ago when Ramananjali was incepted. A team of musicians whose life was dedicated to Ramana music and singing of it and exploring it in different ways through dance, through drama, through lectures, through audiovisual presentations. So such is this song where C.N. Shastri says he gives the crux of the Upadesa by Bhagavan Ramana. Ramana says, you will understand who is Paramatma if you understand who you are. That Paramatma is shining within you as I in your heart. When you turn your attention towards that Paramatma who is shining within with the question, Nanu Yaru, who am I? Then the Paramatma from within shines and he leads you to the silence of the heart, the silence of the self. Understand who is Paramatma, says C.N. Shastri. And Ramana also says, understand Paramatma. When Punjaji came and asked Bhagavan Ramana, Bhagavan, can you make me see God? Can you help me see God? Have you seen God? Can you also help me see God? Ramana replied, God cannot be seen because he is not an object to be seen, but he is the seer. He is the one who sees. If one has to see the eye, we can't see it ourselves, but we can understand the presence of the eyes because the eyes makes us see the world. Eyes makes us see everything that we look around. So we can't say that there is no seer, there is no eye at all, because we are seeing everything every moment of our lives. So we cannot deny that God does not exist because we are able to experience so many things. And Ramana says, the God is the one who encompasses the whole universe. When the whole universe is God, then how can you be apart from the God? Sarvam Vasudeva Mayam Jagat, they say. It is the highest point of the Shastras. Sarvam Vasudeva Mayam Jagat. If Sarvam, everything is Vasudeva Mayam, then how can you alone be different? Are you also not that very same Vasudeva? So Ramana tells us to turn within and look at that God who is shining in your heart. Hridaya Kuhara Madhye Kevalam Brahma Matram Yaha Mahamiti Sakshat Atmarupena Bhati. He is shining in our heart cave as I. Turn towards him, says Bhagavan Ramana. But for us, we live only in the mind. So the God also we perceive only in the mind. The mind wants to see the God, mind want to understand God. So the mind is playing its tricks. So Ramana, we have to finish, he does not go outside, he comes direct to the point. And he says, what you need to inquire is the mind. Because you live only in the mind. Then there's an example which I've heard from a speaker who told a story. There was one man who was getting ready quickly to go to an airport and catch a flight. And he was in such an urgency, he quickly booked a Ola cab or Uber cab quickly to go to the station. But the Ola cab was delaying it. He was not getting the place, or he was giving some reason. And he was not there at the right time. So this man was scolding him nicely. This cab drivers, they never come on time. All these, he's scolding them nicely. And he gets into the cab and he's rushing, he's still worrying, and he's scolding, if I miss the flight, I'm just going to call your manager and going to complain, and I'm going to take you out of the job. So he's scolding him right and left, and he's rushing him to quickly go to the airport. And he, because of some reason, some delay, some traffic jam on the way, he misses the flight. And he is scolding the driver right and left. But he gets a news that the flight which had taken off just now, his flight has crashed. And so many people have lost their lives. And as soon as he hears this news, the person who came to catch the flight, who was so disappointed by the cab driver, he just felt, oh my God, I'm saved. What if I was on time and if I was there in that flight, then I would have been dead by now. That cab driver is God himself. who came to save my life. So until now, the cab driver who was so bad, who did not know his job, and who had done such a mistake, but now all of a sudden it has changed. The cab driver has become God. God who has come in the cab driver form, and he has made him missed the great danger. So all this is only in the mind. The mind plays the tricks, and it says whenever good things happen, we say, aha, it is the grace of God. When whatever we want does not happen, we blame the God. We say that God is not at all there. If he was there, he would have listened to what I say and he would have done a better job. This God does not know his job properly. So we are complaining about God. So where is the God for us? The God is only in our mind. And we want God to fulfill all our desires. We think that God is the one who will fulfill all our desires. If he doesn't, he's like a server. If you order for masala dosa, if you get you masala dosa, then he's a good server. If you order masala dosa and you get rava dosa, which you don't like it so much, then you say, this is not a proper server. So we think God is like a server who has to bring whatever we desire. If we get anything less or anything more, we always complain about what we have got. And we want God to take care of everyone. He has to take care of us. He has to take care of all our dear ones and all the people around us, so that we are happy seeing all of them and we are happy and comfortable with ourselves. But Ramana says, God is already taking care. He is doing the perfect thing. He is Nataraja. Nataraja, there's a shloka, the first shloka of Abhinaya Darpana, which says, Angikam bhuvanam yasya vachikam sarva vagmayam aharyam chandra taradi tam namas satvikam shivam. That Shiva, for him, his dance is every movement that is happening in the universe. So he is the Nataraja, he's a perfect dancer. So whatever movement is happening in the universe is perfect, absolutely perfect. If you are trying to find out some mistake and complain, it is as if you are complaining on the choreography of the greatest choreographer, the perfect choreographer. The choreography, he has a perfect reason for choreographing something. In one of my design book, there was this beautiful saying, a quote, which said, a best design is not when you have to add something. Okay, the best design is when there is nothing to be removed. Everything seems to be perfect, nothing to be removed. Everything seems to be perfect. Everything has a purpose. So such is the design of the Supreme God. Everything is perfect. Everything has a place. Everything has a beautiful purpose in its life. Everything has a role. So such is the choreography of the God, and we are finding fault in the God's choreography. And every sound that we hear is the music of his dance, his dialogues. And we are telling this God is not communicating properly. He is not telling me the story before itself. So we are complaining about the God. But the truth is, the God pervades everything. And his grace is always there. Ramana says the grace is there in the beginning, it is the middle, and it is in the end. It is only we come in between the grace and obstruct it. And when we say we, what do we actually mean? Is it our body which is coming in between the grace and disturbing this body, not helping us understand the God's presence within and everywhere? The body is jada. It does not tell anything. We do not know what is happening inside our body. And in deep sleep, we don't even know what is happening to the body. It is lying on the ground. And if one is dead, then there is no breathing also. We don't even have this consciousness that we are awake and we are speaking, we are listening. Even that consciousness is not there when we are unconscious or dead. So this body is jada. So this cannot be I. So there is something which we call I. And Ramana tells us, go beyond this body and inquire what is that I. So this body is the outer layer that we have, which is called the Annamaya Kosha. Ramana says, go within from this gross identification, go little within to more subtler. identification. Then we realize we are the pranamaya kosha. We are the life force. But this life force also is not in our hand. We do not have any control over the life force. In pranayama, we try to control, but we can only come to a small, we can only control our breath only for a some time. We can hold our breath for some time. We cannot stay without breathing for many long time. Even the great ones, they say they used to take one breathe and do not eat any food for a long time. We heard the story of Dhruva. When he went to the forest, he sat in meditation, thinking about Lord Vishnu in his heart. And he had to undergo Katina Tapasya. For few months, he only ate a fruit once in a month. Then he used to eat one leaf in a month. Then later, he used to take one breath of air and then continued his tapasya. So such difficulty, with great difficulty, that little Dhruva, the 5-year-old Dhruva, had to undergo the tapasya, and at the end of the tapasya, Lord Vishnu came and blessed him. So we have heard such great tapaswins were there, but for us, we do not have any control of the pranamaya kosha. Ramana says, okay, pranamaya kosha is difficult to understand, but go a little deeper. We have the manomaya kosha. And this manomaya kosha, we think we have nice control. We understand what is our mind. We think. But Ramana says, just go a little within and understand what is this mind. The thing is, we are only living in the mind. The body also is there only in the mind. We had one exercise in our one of our workshops where I enter saying that I don't find my thumb. I have lost my thumb. I've lost my thumb. Showing the thumb to everybody. I'm telling I've lost my thumb. And my friends come in and they say, hey, you have your thumb. You have not lost your thumb. Then I say, I don't know. You're not telling it. I'm feeling that I don't have a thumb. How can I write? How can I paint? How can I type? How can I hold something? I cannot do anything at all. I've become like Ekalavya. I've lost my thumb. Okay, so I'm crying, and all my friends are trying to convince me that the thumb is here itself. It has not gone anywhere. And they, with a lot of patience, they tell me how many fingers I have. And they say, this is my little finger. This is the anamika, the ring finger. This is the middle finger. And this is the pointing finger. And here is one more finger. This is your thumb. It has not gone anywhere. So if one has this illusion that we do not have something, one of my cousins has this fear within him. He's like, if somebody is watching me, somebody is trying to tap my phone, somebody is trying to hack my computer. So there is this fear within him. So he's telling, can you please give me the number of the crime department of the internet? So he's always in that constant fear that he is being seen. But the truth is, nobody is interested in what he is doing. Nothing of such sort is happening. But there is a fear within the mind. It's the same with people having hallucination. They are feeling something which is not there. So we are also caught up in such illusion. We are only living our lives in our mind. G. Kameshwaram sir, when he was talking about the mind, he read a portion from a book where it spoke about the phantom limb. The phantom limb is a limb which is not existing, but we are feeling the existence of it. There was one person whose leg was amputated because of some reason, and but every time he had this feeling that that leg which was amputated was itching, and he had to scratch it. So where is this leg? The leg is physically not present, but there is something in our mind, the brain which is working in with the mind, which is telling us that that leg is there and that leg is itching, and we need to scratch it. Such is the situation where the body is also only in our mind. So Ramana says, don't worry about anything else. For a true disciple, the work is only within. Where is the mind? The mind is not somewhere else. Mind is within each one of us. And the mind is the cause for all the problems that we are facing. Somebody give me an example. If there is 2 feet of a slab on the ground, and somebody tells you just walk on this slab. If the slab is on the ground, you can easily walk on it without any fear. But imagine that very same 2 feet of slab is present between two high buildings. Two buildings are there. In between the two buildings, you have that 2 feet big slab. Very, very sturdy slab. But if somebody tells you to walk on that slab, your hands and legs are trembling with fear, and we can't even put one step without any support. We are very, very afraid. What is the cause of this fear? It's the same 2 feet slab which was there down. It was only transported up in between the two buildings. But at that time, we are afraid of our lives. There is a fear which is created. And who creates this fear? It is the mind. So all the problems that we are facing, Ramana says, is only in the mind. They do not have any real existence. When an old grandma came to Bhagavan Ramana telling all her problems, Ramana, with lot of compassion, spoke to her, spoke about her well-being and says, oh, you have all these problems. Do you have all these problems even in your deep sleep? Then that old grandma told, no, Bhagavan, when I sleep, I'm very, very peaceful. I'll sleep. But as soon as I wake up, all these problems come again. So Ramana told, so that problem that you're talking about only comes and goes. So what comes and goes cannot be you. So you are that which is always there. So don't worry about all these problems. It will come and it will go. You hold on to that which is always there. So this is the sutra that Bhagavan has given. So he says, find out what is the mind. When we start looking into our minds, we understand the mind is only made up of thoughts, and it is nothing but thoughts. And Ramana says, every experience that we are having is only a thought. We may say, no. The emotions that we are feeling, the sorrow, the anger, the fear, all these are our feelings. It comes from somewhere very, very deep. Ramana says, even those emotions are only a thought, because these emotions come and they go away. You are very, very angry for some time, but you get to know the reason behind once somebody's behavior. You get to know, or you just feel maybe they are very, very ignorant. Maybe because of some situation they have done that work. So you forgive them. So what will happen to the anger? Anger just vanishes. So these emotions, how much ever strong it is, how much ever powerful they are, they come and they go. So these emotions are only thoughts. Sometimes we get a great idea. I got this great idea. So Ramana says, yes, a great idea. That is also a thought. Because I had got a nice idea yesterday. Today I forgot the idea. So the idea which came yesterday has gone away. So even the great idea, the great clarity which we get, they are also only thought which come and go. So Ramana says every experience that we are having is only a thought. And how many thoughts do we have? We have a beautiful song in one of our dance ballet, which I would like to sing. It says, thoughts, 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 thoughts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thoughts, 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 thoughts. How many thoughts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Emotion, perception, deception, dissection, introspection, action, 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 more of action, thoughts, 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 thoughts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, hundreds, thousands, thoughts, 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 thoughts. How many thoughts we have? We don't even have a count of the number of thoughts that we are having. We are having 1, 2, 3, 4. If you start counting, there are hundreds of thoughts. And hundreds and thousands and millions of thoughts that we are having. And Ramana says every experience is a thought. So the every emotions that we are experiencing is thoughts. Every perception, aha, I'm seeing something, I am hearing something, I'm smelling something, I'm tasting something, I am feeling something. Everything is only a thought. And dissection, analyzing something. What is that? How can that be possible? How can we help them? How can we do something? Why is this problem there? Why, what will happen if the problem is not there? So all this dissection that we do with a problem is also only a thought. And introspection that we do. Why did I do this? Cha, 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 cha. I would have done something better. I would have told this when he told that. I would have done this. All these are only thoughts. And every action that we do, I'm sitting, I'm standing, I'm talking, I'm listening, I am thinking. Everything, every action is only a thought. Thoughts, 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 thoughts. And what does these thoughts say? Don't you cease, don't you stop. Never, never, never take a break. Don't you cease, don't you stop. Never, never, never take a break. If you wish, try along, keep moving at any rate. Action, 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 more of action. What is this thoughts telling us? The thoughts is telling us, don't stop thinking. If you stop thinking, what will happen? The whole universe may come to a standstill. Don't stop thinking. Don't cease. Don't even take a break. Don't say, I'm not going to think for 5 minutes. Don't do all these things. So our mind is constantly telling us to keep thinking, 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 and have many, many thoughts. And even if you're very, very tired, it says, don't worry. Think something slow, but keep thinking about something. Don't stop thinking and keep acting, acting, acting. Don't sit in one place. Bhagavan says, Summa ire. Be still as you are. But our mind is not letting us do that. It is saying, oh, don't sit quietly. Think, do some action, 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 action all the time. And the mind is telling, move here, move there, here and there and here. Never mind if he's here. Keep moving out there. The mind is telling, okay, keep doing some action. Do one action. Okay, if you have to given one work to read some book, keep reading that book. But will the mind do the one work? After reading some time, what will the mind say? Enough, enough, enough. Now move here, you've done that work. Move there. Go and see what is happening in the TV for some time. Then after that, he says, okay, TV is boring. Go back to the studies. You have to finish that book today and give a review. Then go back to that book. Then, oh, this is not okay. The book will stay. You can do that later. You have to send a message to your friend. You do that first. So our mind is saying, do move here, move there. Move here, move there. It is making us constantly move. And there is somebody who is there within, waiting for us to turn towards him. But the mind says, don't listen to, don't pay attention to that one who is there within. Keep moving out there, where you have to move out through your senses, through your attention. Move outside. Move outside in the world. Never ever, don't pay attention to that man or that person who is there within. So this mind is always telling, think, think, think. You have thoughts, thoughts, thoughts. Have more thoughts, thoughts, thoughts. 1, 2, 3, 4, hundreds, thousands, thoughts, thoughts, thoughts. But when you are thinking, you have one feeling. It's watching. It's watching. You know something is watching. We have a feeling that he's watching. Something is, it's watching. You know something is watching. But what is mind telling it? Ignore it. Keep moving till it doesn't stop you to act. Ignore it. Keep moving till it doesn't stop your action. Action, 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 action. More of action. Thoughts, 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 thoughts. There is something who is watching us. But these thoughts, they say, don't pay attention to that. Somebody who is watching, turn outside and keep thinking, keep moving outside and keep thinking, 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 thinking. Ramana says, what is the use of thinking constantly? There is an example of the waves that is given in one of our dance ballet, Paripurna Ramana. The waves is rushing towards the shore, outside to the world and going back, again rushing towards the shore and moving back. From the deep sea, there is a call from the deep sea. Oh, wave, come back into yourselves. See, there is so much of wonder within you. Just come and have a look at it once. But this wave is like, I'm not interested in coming there. It's so much joy when I rush towards them, people screaming and children clapping their hands. It's so much of fun and so much of activity which is happening in the shore. I don't want to miss all these things and come inside the sea. I'm not interested. But the deep sea is full of patience. It is calling again and again. Don't worry, wave. You can get back as a much bigger wave. Or if you want to visit some other shores, you can visit the shores in Goa. You can visit the shore in Japan. You can visit the shores in Mauritius. You can go to any shore you wish to. Just come back. Come back into yourself and see how much, so many wonders are there within you. The wave, with lot of reluctance, it turned towards and enters the deep sea. Only when it enters the deep sea, it understands there is so much of wonder within myself. I have been acting. I have never really stopped and taken a break and seen something. I have been making sound, gushing sound on the shore. I have never heard the silence. And it realizes that this is absolute joy. And nothing can equal the joy of being myself. Such is the story of the wave. And we are also like that wave. We are not interested to get back to our own true self. We are busy gushing outside. Our mind is forcing us to move outside. And we say this mind is giving us so much of problem, Bhagavan Ramana. Please help us destroy this mind. And Ramana smiles and says, oh, really? I will destroy it right now. Just bring the mind in front of me and tell me, how is this mind? Does it have a mustache? Which color is this mind? Show it to me. I will destroy it right away, says Bhagavan Ramana. But can you bring a mind in front of us? And Ramana says, that's why you inquire what is mind. Manasam tu kim margane krite naiva manasam margarjavar. When we inquire what is this mind, manasam tu kim margane krite naiva manasam. There is nothing called a mind. That is the direct path to understand your true nature. But we are not able to understand there is no mind. I have a mind. It is troubling me. So we are complaining again about the mind. And Ramana says, okay, mind is there. Then what is this mind? Inquire. Then we come to a conclusion. We say that mind is thoughts. Vrittayastvaham vrittimashritaha vrittayo mano vidyaham mana. Vrittayo manaha. Manaha, our mind is only thoughts. Our mind is full of thoughts. It is a bundle of thoughts, we say. Or we say it's a flow of thoughts. But it is only set of thoughts. Ramana says, yes, you are coming to the point. Okay, there's a game where if you are told to touch something, okay, if you're going closer to that object, okay, everybody says, yes, hot. If you're going away from the object, they say cold. So when we say, oh, Ramana, I've understood that mind is only thoughts. Ramana says, yes, you're coming closer. You're getting hot. And Ramana says, yes, the mind is full of thoughts, but these thoughts are attached to one thought. the basis of all these thoughts is aham vritti, the I thought. And all the other thoughts are called idam vritti. The idam vritti come and go. But the aham vritti is always there. Hold on to that aham vritti. Devotees ask, you say we have to hold on to that I thought. How can we hold on to that I thought? One of the devotees asked. And later Ramana did not answer that time. So after some time, there was that devotee was into a heated discussion which was happening in the kitchen. And he was telling, hey, do you know who am I? I'm going to teach you a lesson. Why did you do it? And next time I will do something to you. Like that, he was screaming at one more inmate of the kitchen. And Ramana came out and he told, oh, hold on to that. You said, I will do something. No, I will do. You know who I am. So you hold on to that I. That I, when this I arises as various experiences, you hold on to that I. Because this I is the basis of every experience. Because every experience is only a thought. And every thought has the base in the I thought. Hold on to this thought. And Ramana says, if the I thought is there, all the other thoughts are there. How is it they are different? How do we recognize the I thought and the other thoughts? Ramana says, inquire. Inquire into the nature of the mind. In one of the workshops, we had one example of understanding what is this mind. Is mind like a small corridor where all the thoughts are like people who are moving from one corner to other corner, and these thoughts enters the different rooms and they settle down, and then they come out and then they go out to a different place. So are these thoughts moving on the corridor? Is it that way? I don't think so. This is a right analogy. So we went to one more example. Okay, maybe our mind is like a room, and one thought is entering the room and is staying for some time in the room, and it takes an exit. Then one more thought enters the room. It is staying in the room and it is going from that room. Is that how the mind works? Is it like a room? If that is like the room, who is then seeing this coming and going of the thoughts? There should be somebody who is sitting there and seeing the thought, right? Is it like that? The somebody person who is Sakshi, who is sitting in one place on a chair, and these thoughts are coming inside the room, going out. Is our mind like that, like a room where the thoughts are entering and exiting? Even that is not a satisfactory analogy. So Ramana gives us one more example. The truth is that the thoughts are not coming and going. The right analogy that Ramana gives us is, have you seen a lighthouse near the seashore? There's a lighthouse where there's on a big pillar, there is one light. And that light is rotating and it is moving around, and that lighthouse is giving directions to the sailors who are coming from the various parts in the beach to direct them towards the shore. These lighthouses are created, and these lighthouse, you have a light, and that light is moving round and round and round. So when that light falls on some tree, the tree gets lit. Then it moves away from the tree and it goes to one more shop and it lights the shop. Then from the shop, it moves towards one more small tent there and it lights a tent. Then it moves away and then there is a hut there. It goes and it lights the hut. And there is a beautiful sculpture there. If the light moves on the sculpture, that sculpture is lit. So our mind is something like that. The eye is having a torch. And what is that light of the torch that the eye is having? It is the torch, the light of attention. When the attention falls on one object, we have a thought of that object. If I see a pen, then I have a thought, oh, the pen is here. If I want a pen later, I can use this pen. If somebody wanted a pen, maybe whose pen is this? So all these thoughts come when my attention falls on that object. If the mind is not seeing that object, then I do not have a thought about that. We have a saying in English which says, out of sight is out of mind. If some people who are not regularly coming and talking to you, you forget them. Sometimes you don't remember them at all because they are out of sight and they are out of mind. But not like that. We sometimes, if somebody has not come, we think more about them. Why has he not come today? Maybe there is some, he was caught up in some other work, and we are thinking about that person more. So, what is the object that Bhagavan is talking about? The object can be a physical object. When the attention falls on the physical object, we have a thought. And we have a formula in our workshop. We say I plus object is equal to thought. So this object can be a physical object or it can be a mental object. In our mind, we can be thinking about somebody. Can have a thought of one person or one object, and the eye is throwing light, throwing attention on that mental object. Then also there is a thought. So Ramana says, this eye is the one which lights all the objects. When the eye is pointing on one object, we are having different experiences, different thoughts. And all these experiences and thoughts are not because of other things. It is only because of our attention. So Ramana says, turn your attention back to itself. If one person is sitting and seeing the thoughts going, so he has the torch light. So he is responsible for throwing the light and seeing what object is coming in its radius. So Ramana says, turn the torch towards yourself and find out who is that who is seeing. Who is that who is the seer? Then you will understand your own true nature. He says, Ahamayam kuto bhavati chinvata aipatatyaham nija vicharanam. Ayam aham kuto bhavati. This I, from where does it rise? Chinvata. If one inquires, then this I which is rising and which is creating all these objects, it subsides into its source. And Ramana says, this is the self-enquiry. Nija vicharanam. Nija is the truth. The self Ramana is talking about. This is the true self-enquiry. And Nija vicharanam, we can also understand that this is the only vicharanam, the true vicharanam that we need to do. We need to understand who is this I. All the other vichara that we are doing with all these thoughts, what is happening to that person, what is happening here, what is happening there. So Ramana says you do not have to think about any other thoughts. The only thought that you need to hold on to and inquire is this I thought. And inquire, from where is this thought arising? And when you question this thought, from where is this I arising? This I, it merges back to its source. This is the direct path. This is the self-enquiry which Bhagavan is giving. But we are not able to separate ourselves from all these experiences that we are having. Oh, Bhagavan, Ramana, you say I should not do the inquiry about anything else. I should only pay attention to the I. But I am so habituated of thinking, having thousands of thoughts and having all these experiences and seeking all these experiences. I want to see something beautiful. I want to hear to some beautiful song. I want to hear some praises from people. I want to hear good words from people. I want to hear encouraging words. I want to smell something very, very fantastic. I want to taste something very, very tasty. I want to try out different cuisines. So all these experiences that we want, we are seeking these experiences. And Ramana is compassionate. He says, don't worry. Understand. You be a part of every experience. But understand that every experience is part of a drama. it is an act, it is a play, and you are only playing a role. You are playing a role of Ujwal, and you are desiring all these experiences. But always understand that you are only playing a role. If you forget that you are playing a role and you identify yourself with that role, then you are going to cause problem not only to yourself, but you are going to cause problem to everybody else. And in our dance ballet, we have this example of people who in the Tirukkuth, in this traditional dance drama formats, there is the Prahalad Charitam which is presented. And the Prahalada Charitam, the Hiranyakashipu hits on the pillar, and from the pillar comes the Narasimha. And the Narasimha, the people who are playing this character of Narasimha, they are meditating on this Narasimha so much, they get into the role of Narasimha. And they say in that Avesham, they pounce on the person who is playing the Hiranyakashipu, and sometimes drastic incidents would have happened where they hurt that Hiranyakashipu with their nails or with their force. So usually when Narasimha character comes here, because they get into that avesham, two people are holding that Narasimha with two ropes, because if he rushes towards the Hiranyakashipu, they control that Narasimha from back. So Ramana says, if we forget that we are only playing the role of Narasimha and we ourselves become Narasimha, then we cause problem to the whole world and we will repent the action that we have done. So understand that you are only playing a role. When you are playing a role, understand that the role keeps changing. In one scene, you are playing one role, very, very important role where you have a dialogue. In one more scene, you are only an observer. You are sitting and listening to somebody's dialogue. So the roles keep changing. So understand that roles are changing. And while playing this role, when having all this experience, quickly turn and watch. Who is that? Who is watching? Ramana says, watch, watch, watch every experience. Watch, watch, watch every experience. Watch it and let it pass, let it pass, let it pass. Watch, watch, watch every experience. Watch it and let it pass, watch it and let it pass. Then turn around and ask yourself, what is it that does watch? What is it that does watch? Then turn around and ask yourself, what is it that does watch? Watch, watch, watch every experience. Watch it and let it pass, let it pass, let it pass. Ramana says, watch. Watch every experience. But do not hold on to that experience. If you are angry, don't hold on to that anger. I am angry. Hold it with a light touch. Watch the anger and watch the anger moving away, passing away. And you're very, very happy. Do not hold on to that. The thought of happiness. Leave that happiness and watch it like a moving role in a play. Watch it moving. Watch, watch, watch the senses good show. Watch them and let them pass. Watch them and let them pass. Watch, watch, watch the senses good show. Watch them and let them pass. Watch them and let them pass. And then just turn around and ask yourself with subtle awareness, what is the gross? When turn around and ask yourself with subtle awareness, what is the gross? With subtle awareness, what is the gross? Watch, watch, watch every experience. Ramana says, watch the good show that these senses are bringing. Watch the beautiful sights that this world has. Hear the beautiful sounds of this world. Smell and taste and feel experience everything that these senses bring. But be alert. Do not hold on to any of those experiences. Let it pass. Let it pass. And then quickly turn around and ask yourself, when I'm seeing something, when I'm hearing something, these are the gross experiences that I am having. But behind these gross experiences, there is some subtle awareness which is watching these experiences. Turn your attention towards that subtle awareness, says Bhagavan Ramana, and tells us, watch, watch, watch every experience. Watch, watch, watch the emotions rise, and do watch them subside. Watch, watch, watch the emotions rise, and do watch them subside. Then quickly watch with keen attention from where they rise and into which they fall. With quickly watch with keen attention from where they rise and into which they fall. Where they rise and into which they fall. We have all these emotions, the Navarasas. We are in love with somebody, and sometimes we are disgusted with something. We feel like laughing at some things, and we are very, very angry by few things. We are sometimes wonder, how is this possible? But sometimes we are filled with compassion. Why is this? And we are filled with sorrow. And like this, we are having all these emotions within us. So Ramana says, all these emotions which rise within you has to subside. So Ramana says, quickly turn and with keen attention, find out from where is these emotions rising and where is it setting. Watch, watch, watch every experience. But if you wish to play your own part in the play, remember the play will pass. But if you wish to play your own part in the play, yet remember the play will pass. Remember the play will pass. Enjoy the makeup, laughter and loose, and enjoy the curtain call. Enjoy the makeup, laughter and loose. Enjoy the curtain call. If you want to play, you want to be a part of this drama of the world. The world, which is the beautiful drama directed by the Supreme. If you want to be a part of this drama, be a part of this drama. But enjoy the makeup. Right, to play one part, to play a part of a teacher, I have to do a makeup. Makeup is I have to learn. I have to be a student first and be in that training for many, many years. Then I can become a dance teacher and I can teach a dance. So that is the makeup. So enjoy that makeup. To become a teacher, that is the makeup that we, Ramana, for God, the time is nothing. We are in urgency. We have to finish the work within this lifetime. But Rabindranath Tagore says, oh God, you have 1,000,000 years to perfect a flower. But I have only this lifetime to find perfection. So quickly work on me and make me perfect, says Rabindranath Tagore. So every activity that we are doing, we are only doing makeup so that we are prepared for the role that we are going to play. And while playing the role, you cannot have a role which is all fully happy role. You have some roles where you have to cry, some roles where you will have to laugh, some roles where you have to be angry, some roles where you have to be disgusted. So some roles where you have to just love somebody. So all these are part of the play. Enjoy the laughter and blues and also enjoy the curtain call. Every role has to come to an end. One role has to finish so that you can take up another role. That role also has to, how much ever beautiful that role may be, you have to give up that role because roles keep changing. Ramana gives a beautiful example of a person who is a great actor. In one role, he's playing the role of a great king, very, very wealthy, rich king who is having many, many soldiers around him, many, many servants around him, and who are all serving him. So this, the one role is like that. And quickly, in a few scenes later, the same person comes dressed up as an ally, as a servant, and he has to come and he has to do some work for a master. So both the roles he plays with great finesse. A great actor will do the role of a Raja as if he is the richest man in the whole world. And at the same time, the next scene, when he has to come as Ali, he will play as if he is the best servant. He has been a servant all his life. So such great actors one needs to be, that we need to enjoy every role that we play. Sometimes it is laughter, sometimes it is blues. Enjoy, and also enjoy the curtain call, Bhagwan Ramana says. And the greatest curtain call is the curtain raised into our drama of life, when we have to face the end of our lives. So enjoy that too. Enjoy every experience as a great actor. So Ramana tells us, watch every experience. Be the best actor, but understand that what you are playing is only a role. And Ramana continues, the role, it's not the various roles that we play in our lives. I play the role of a son, I play the role of a master, I play a role of a servant, I play a role of a friend. All these roles we may play. That is in the outside world, but we ourselves within, we are playing different roles, because this I thought, it is having various roles. Whenever it turns its attention to one object, it has taken up that role. If the I thought moves its attention towards anger, it becomes I am angry. So it takes up the role of anger. So Ramana reminds, yes, you take up the role of anger, but understand you are only playing the role of anger. This role will come to an end. Then you will become your own self. Find out who is that self when all the roles vanish, when there is no roles to be played. Who are you? Do you cease to exist? No, I am there. Even if I'm not playing any role, I exist. Find out from where this I arises. And this I, when you separate it from all the other thoughts and you inquire from where is this I arising, it slowly merges back into its true source. And that true source is your own true nature. And getting back to that true source with this inquiry, from where does this I arise? Who am I? That is the true vichara. That is the nija vicharanam, the self-inquiry, says Bhagwan Ramana. Bhagwan Ramana gives a beautiful example in one of his works, where he says, the salt doll, it has a conversation with its brother, the pearl. It says, oh, brother pearl, you are so precious. Everybody values you so much. You are so precious and everybody wants to buy you for paying so much of money. But we both are brothers and sisters. We both are coming from the same father, which is the ocean. But this father, who is our dear ocean, he has been partial. He has made you so precious and he has made me so cheap. I am available in every store and everybody uses in their house. Every house, even a house of a poor person, has salt in their house. So he has made me so cheap. I am going to confront my father and ask him this question, and ask him, why has he made me so cheap and so inexpensive and not at all valuable, and made you so precious? The brother Pearl says, oh sister Salt, oh Salt doll, you are so beautiful. You are so important. Don't go, don't do this silly things. Then you cannot, you will, something drastic will happen. Don't go and ask this question. Be happy as you are. Be a salt doll. But this salt doll is not ready to listen. No, I'm going to confront my source. I'm going to confront my father. I'm going to ask him this question. So the salt doll is moves, walks, and it is approaching the Father, its source, the ocean. And as it is approaching, the ocean breeze itself is making it melt slowly. And when this salt doll enters the ocean, the salt doll disappears. It merges into the ocean. And one may wonder what happened. The salt doll lost itself. It disappeared completely. It lost its identity. But Ramana says it has not lost its identity. It has found a new identity. It has become the ocean. It has understood that it is the ocean. Its true source is ocean. It has been thinking that it is invaluable. It is very limited. But actually, its true nature is ocean, which is limitless, which is all enveloping and so huge. We are forgetting our own true nature, which we are like the ocean, but we think we are only this cheap salt and we are suffering. So Ramana says, turn within and find out your own true nature. Then you will understand who you really are. And that is the self-inquiry one needs to do. And that is the only inquiry one needs to do. Because the world inquiry we don't have to do. We don't have to do the loka vichara. If somebody goes to Ramana and asked, Ramana, there is so much of problem happening here in the world, there in the world. And Ramana says, this world is created by a great power. And it is his responsibility to take care of the world. It is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to turn within and understand who you are. Vanda velaya pare. You do the work that you have come for. Do not waste your time in loka vichara, because there is no end for loka vichara. If you keep thinking about one problem and its solution, it keeps creating more problems, and there is no end for these problems that the world creates. So Ramana says, turn within and find yourself. Find from where this I arises. It is not a simple job, because we are caught up in this maze, this ocean full of waves of these thoughts. It's very difficult. So Ramana gives us a beautiful story, which I've read from. It's a Zen story where a disciple hears about a beautiful temple with 1,000 bells. And when the master says to those students who are all sitting there, there was a great temple in an island, and that temple had 1,000 beautiful bells of different shapes and size, made of different materials. And when the wind used to blow, all those 1,000 bells used to tangle and make a beautiful harmonious sound, which was so beautiful and divine and celestial. And he continued saying, now the temple is submerged inside the ocean. But even now, if one pays attention to the sound of those 1,000 bells, even now one can hear every one of those 1,000 bells if one pays attention and listens to it from the shore. So one of the disciples was inspired by this, and he told, Master, please give me permission. I want to go and listen to the tangling of those 1,000 bells. Please give me permission. And he asks the master. And the master, after a few days, agrees and says, okay, you go and listen to those bells and come back. Then the man, with great excitement, that disciple, he rushes towards the beach, which his master had told, where we could hear that the bell sound. And he, in the beach, he is expecting to listen to that 1,000 bells. But sadly, he is not able to hear any sound of any bell. Only thing that he is hearing is the gushing sound of the waves. And then he says, okay, maybe today I'm very tired. I'm not able to listen. Tomorrow I will take a room here and I'll come back tomorrow morning. Then I will listen to the bells which my master was telling about. And he goes back to the room and comes back next day. with again great expectation of listening to that thousand bells. But he is sitting on the shore, and the only thing that he is hearing is only the gushing sound of the waves. And he is tired. This happens once. The next day he comes. Second day passes the same way. The third day, fourth day, fifth day, sixth day. And he spends a month's time in that seashore. But sadly, the only thing that he is hearing is only the sound of the waves. And he is not able to hear to even one bell. And he is completely disappointed. And he goes back to the room and he decides, I don't think that I can ever hear to those thousand bells. Maybe what my master told, maybe it's a lie, it's a myth. And I believed him and I came here. I'm not able to find out where this thousand bells are, and I'm not able to hear to them. He's completely disappointed and he decides, I'm going to leave right away. But before I leave this place, I've been trying to expecting that thousand bells. I have never really enjoyed the beach. Now today, let me go for a last time and let me enjoy the beach. Let me enjoy the sound of the waves. Let me enjoy the presence of the vastness of the beach. He decides this and goes, and he lies down on the beach, on the sand, and closes his eyes. And he hears the familiar gushing of the waves. And with that gushing of the waves, he hears the tingling of one bell, the second bell, the third bell, the fourth bell, the 100th bell, the 500th bell, and every 1,000 bells. And he is thrilled by that sound of those 1,000 bells. Ramana says, this example is about our sadhana. When we sit to the sadhana, we may be hearing only the sound of the thoughts. Ramana says, don't be dejected by it, because behind every sound of the wave, behind every thought, there is the sound of that beautiful bells, the sound, the silence of the eye. So Ramana says, get back to that silence. Don't worry about these moving thoughts. It comes and goes. Quickly turn within and find out from where does this eye arise and merge at its source. One needs to have complete faith of the master, because the master is the one who has experienced this sound of the eye, the silence of the eye. So when a master who is a jnani is telling something, we need to have complete faith in his words and continue with our sadhana. When we continue with our sadhana, the master will bless us with some experiences, some experience of that silence. And he encourages us to get back. Do not stop at that experience. Find out. Even if you're having a great spiritual experience, find out from where is this experience arising and merge at its source. That is the Nija Vicharanam, the self-enquiry one needs to do. And Ramana is blessing us as the Guru within. And he is also blessing us through these satsangs as the Guru without. And he is telling us the only thing that we need to do is turn towards the self and merge at the source. This is the only work that we need to do. And Bhagavan, with his great compassion, has made us come to this path. Understand the only work that we need to do, the only paramount duty that one needs to do is to understand oneself. And Ramana says that is the best service that you can do to the whole world. So get back to that self, find out from the where the I arises. If we are holding on to this sadhana, Ramana, with his grace, is ever present And Ramana says, this inquiry has only come because of the grace. And that very same grace which has brought us to this sadhana, to this inquiry, is leading us and will lead us to that source which we really are and which we always are. There's no one moment in our lives when we are not there. We are always present. We are that Sat Chit Ananda. And Ramana, he holds our hands and he will take us to that source, that heart that we are. Saluting to that Ramana who is shining as the Guru within, I thank Vaniji and Vasudevji for giving me this opportunity to meditate on this verse and share my understanding. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya.